My name is Elena, and I trusted them with my soul. My family. They watched me build my dream from nothing, then they took it all. They left me with nothing but shattered glass and a broken heart. But here's what they forgot: when you break something, sometimes you reveal its sharpest edges. My name is Elena. I'm telling you this from the other side of hell, but let me start at the beginning. My escape was a 3-foot by 5-foot coffee cart. You're drawing in that thing again? Harper's voice cut through the library quiet. She slid into the chair opposite me, her smile not reaching her eyes. More little coffee cups. Recipes, I said, closing the notebook. It's a business plan. She snorted. For a lemonade stand? It's a specialty coffee cart. I've got a name and everything. Grounds of Hope. That's quaint. She leaned back. Mom's gonna love that. Dinner that night was my opening. My hands shook under the table. I found a location, I blurted over the meatloaf. For the cart. The lease is affordable. I've done the numbers. Ben kept chewing. Mom put her fork down. A cart. Elena, be serious. I am. It's a real business plan. I pushed the folder toward her. She didn't open it. Honey, running a business isn't like your art projects. It's hard, dirty work. I know. I want to do the work. It's a cute little hobby, she said, picking up her fork again. Focus on school. I looked at Harper for support. She was watching me, her head tilted. Not smiling, not frowning. Just studying. What's your unique selling point? She asked. My drinks. I'm creating my own syrups, my own blends. That was all she said. But her eyes stayed on me, calculating. I didn't see the scan for weakness then. I just felt the sting. Later, in my room, my phone buzzed. It was Chloe. Did you tell them? Yes, I typed back. Mom called it a hobby. 3 dots bounced. Then, meet me at the park. Bring the notebook. I need to taste test this velvet moon thing you won't shut up about. Chloe was my only believer. We sat on a swing set with 2 travel mugs. Okay, hit me, she said. I handed her a mug. She took a sip. Her eyes went wide. Elena. This is insane. This is shut up and take my money good. You think? I know. Screw their hobby talk. Do it. Just do it. So, I did it alone. I got a job waiting tables days and stocking shelves at night. Every tip, every paycheck, went into a locked box. I stopped talking about it at home. The silence from my family was a heavy blanket. The day I signed the lease, I told them. It was just a fact. You're actually doing this? Mom asked, arms crossed. I start building the cart next week. She shook her head. Don't come crying to us when it fails. Ben just grunted from behind his newspaper. Harper, though, came to my room that night. So, you're really going through with it? Yes. You'll need a marketing strategy. Logos. Social media. I'm taking a class on that. I have a handle on it, I said, too defensive. Fine. She hovered in the doorway. Just trying to help. Opening day was a blur of terror and steam. Chloe was there, handing me cups, her laughter cutting through my panic. The first customer smiled after a sip. This is amazing. When we finally closed, my hands were raw. Chloe hugged me tight. You did it, you maniac. You actually did it. I buried my face in her shoulder and cried. Not from sadness. From a feeling so solid it stole my breath. I built this. It was mine. I didn't see a year in, and Grounds of Hope wasn't just surviving. It was buzzing. I was sketching layouts for a second cart when the shift happened. Mom brought me a coffee, store-bought, not mine, and sat at my desk. You look swamped, honey. I'm okay. Just planning. Let me help. Her voice was soft, unfamiliar. The bookkeeping, the taxes, it must be a lot. I can organize it. I stared at her. Really? Of course. We're family. Later, Ben gruffly mentioned the clutter in my storage nook. I could build you some proper shelves. Sturdy ones. No charge. Even Harper came home from college that weekend and cornered me. Your branding is amateur hour, Ellie. The logo, the menus. Let me redesign them. It'll be my portfolio project. I was drowning in the work. Their offers felt like life rafts. Maybe I'd been wrong. Maybe they finally saw me. Thank you, I heard myself saying, over and over. That would be amazing. So, I gave them everything. My password folder sat open on the kitchen table. Mom copied my supplier contacts and financial files. Harper plugged a drive into my laptop, downloading all my designs, my recipe spreadsheets. I handed Ben my keys for measurements. You're a lifesaver, I told Harper as she scrolled through my files. Just don't get emotional when I change things, she said, not looking up. Business requires a thick skin. That was the first warning. I missed it. The meetings started a week later. I'd walk into the living room and Mom, Ben, and Harper would be huddled over Harper's laptop. They'd fall silent. What's up? I'd ask. Just business talk, Harper would say, clicking the laptop shut. You're busy with the cart. We're handling the big picture. But it's my business. Exactly. And you're too close to it. Too emotional. She'd smile, that cool, new smile. Trust us. The pit in my stomach grew, but I silenced it. They were helping. Then, on a random Tuesday, my phone screamed. It was Chloe. Elena. Have you seen the plaza on Oak Street? No, why? Just go. Now. My heart hammered the whole drive. Oak Street was upscale, full of boutiques I could never afford. And there, between a yoga studio and a jeweler, was a sleek, new cafe. Frosted glass windows, modern furniture. The sign above the door stole the air from my lungs, H&H Brew House. Harper and Hannah. I stumbled out of my car. The menu board by the door was my handwriting, digitized. My drink names, slightly altered. My velvet moon was now Harper's twilight. My layout sketches were their floor plan. I stood there, freezing in the sun, until my phone buzzed. A text from Harper. Family meeting at home. Now. They were all in the kitchen, calm. I was trembling so hard my teeth chattered. You stole it, I whispered. You stole everything. Mom sighed, as if I'd tracked mud on the floor. We didn't steal. We streamlined. We made your naive little idea into a viable business model. It was my model, my recipes, my work. And we improved it, Harper said, her voice ice. You should be grateful. We saved you from your own limitations. Ben nodded, sipping coffee from an H&H mug. Already branded. You had no right. The shout tore from my throat. Harper stood, walking over to me. She looked down, her expression one of pure, chilly pity. Come on, Ellie. What's yours is ours, right? That's what family means. The world didn't go dark. It went silent and terribly bright. I saw every detail of their satisfied faces. My dream was now their franchise. And I collapsed. The world lost all its color and sound. I called the cart and told my one part-time kid, Maya, to handle things. I didn't leave my apartment for a week. Chloe came over every day. She'd sit on the edge of my bed. You have to eat something, Elena. Why? To live. That's the best revenge right now. Just live. She'd make soup and watch me until I took a few spoonfuls. The betrayal wasn't just in my head, it was a physical sickness. I'd stand in the shower for an hour, crying so hard no sound came out, until the water ran cold. They didn't just steal my business. They stole my future, my trust, my own family. The 3 people who were supposed to be my safe harbor had shipwrecked me. One night, around 3 a.m., I was staring at the blank, stained page of my old recipe notebook. The one I hadn't touched since before the theft. I felt empty. Then, a thought, clear and cold as a shard of glass, cut through the fog. They used your heart against you. They called you too emotional so you'd hand over the keys. I sat up. The numbness cracked open, but not into more sadness. Into a sharp, focused clarity. I saw the whole ugly play. Mom's help, Ben's shelves, Harper's rebranding, it was all just a slow-motion robbery. No more, I whispered to the dark room. I wasn't going to scream at them. I wasn't going to beg. Fighting on their terms meant I'd already lost. I had to fight on mine. I tore my apartment apart. In the back of my closet, under a box of winter clothes, I found it. A battered black sketchbook. My secret book. Inside were the recipes I'd created in the very beginning, the wild ones I'd been too scared to sell. The Phoenix chai with smoked black pepper. The citrus spark espresso tonic. My true passion, deemed too risky. And then I remembered, the lease for the original cart location. It was still in my name. Only mine. They'd been so busy playing restaurateur with their shiny cafe, they'd forgotten the foundation. The next morning, I showered with purpose. I dressed. When Chloe came over, I was at the table, the black book open. "Whoa," she said, stopping in the doorway. "You're back. I need a lawyer. Just to check my lease, my rights. Do you know anyone?" She grinned. "My cousin works at a legal clinic. I'll call her." My first real stop was Carlos, my old coffee bean supplier. I brought the black book. "Elena," I heard. "Well, I heard things," he said, looking uncomfortable. "I bet you did. They've been ordering from you, haven't they?" He nodded, guilty. "Family discount," they said. "I need you to taste something." I brewed him the Phoenix chai right there in his back office with my travel press. He sipped. His eyebrows shot up. This is incredible. Different. Bold. It's the new direction. And it's 100% mine. Can I still work with you? On my terms? He put his hand over mine. For you, Mija. Always. Chloe found the info for the Women's Business Incubator. They have a mentorship program. And possible microgrants. I filled out the application that night. I didn't want revenge anymore. Revenge was their language. I wanted resurrection. My new plan was simple. I wouldn't tear their cafe down. I would build something so authentically, brilliantly mine right next to it that their cheap copy would fade into nothing. I closed the black. The day Elena's respite opened was the quietest day of my life. Inside, I was a hurricane. My new space, just a small storefront directly across from H&H Brewhouse, was all warmth, reclaimed wood, soft light, the rich, spicy scent of my Phoenix chai brewing. I saw their faces pressed against their own frosted glass, watching. By 10 a.m., the bell on my door jangled violently. Mom stormed in, her face flushed. "How dare you," she hissed, keeping her voice low for the few customers at my window bar. "This is blatant sabotage." I calmly finished polishing a mug. "Good morning, Linda. Can I get you something?" "On the house." I poured a cup of a dark, smoky blend and slid it across to her. "It's called Karma's Blend. Try it." She stared at the cup like it was poison. "You ungrateful girl. After everything we did for you." "You're right," I said, meeting her eyes. "You did so much. I'll never forget it." She left without touching the coffee. The customers who knew the story came. They brought friends. Chloe worked the register, telling everyone, "Try the Spark, it's life-changing." A reporter from the local paper came in, tipped off by the incubator. "What's the story behind the name Elena's Respite?" she asked. "It's what I built for myself," I said. "A place of peace, after a storm." The headline read, "Local barista rises from betrayal, brews a comeback." Across the street, I watched their panic. They slashed prices. I saw a new sign in their window, new. Resurrection Roast. It was a pathetic, bitter imitation. It reeked of desperation. The climax came at the Summer Street Fair. Our booths were 50 feet apart. Mine had a constant line. Theirs was empty. Harper finally marched over, her designer apron crisp, her face a mask of pure fury. "You're tearing this family apart," she shouted, loud enough to turn heads. The crowd around us quieted. I felt every eye. My heart was steady. "No, Harper," I said, my voice clear. "You did that. When you confused theft for ambition. You didn't steal my business. You stole my trust. My family. But you can't steal my hands, my mind, or my heart." I picked up a cup of my Phoenix chai and addressed the watching crowd. Every recipe here is 100% mine. Created by me, long before they ever opened their doors. Come taste the difference between something real and something stolen. They did. They crossed the space between the booths and joined my line. Harper stood there, utterly exposed. She had nothing left to say. She just turned and walked away, her shoulders hunched. Their end wasn't dramatic. It was a slow, public withering. Customers drifted away. The for lease sign appeared in their shiny window 6 months later. No announcement. Just surrender. The day it went up, Chloe and I stood across the street with 2 cups of Phoenix chai. You did it, she said softly. I looked at the empty cafe, then at my own busy windows, at the community inside that I'd built alone. I didn't feel happy. I felt quiet. Solid. Strong. They tried to bury me in the shadow of my own dream. They didn't know I was a seed. You have to break a seed open for it to grow. Now, I was finally, unshakably, in bloom.